Hello, Evelyn Johnson here within the Beginning Incubator, coming to you with a Generational Wealth Minute again this week. Try to get on and do them, and sometimes I don't have enough time and enough day and to do it. But today we're going to do a Wednesday Generational Wealth moment, and what we're going to discuss today is really talking about the topic is stop written for your future. Everyone, today I just wanted to challenge you to understand the thought process of renting for, not getting out of that. We're not only talking about renting in the real estate space. We're talking about renting in your space, your head space as well. So we're gonna get deep into this a little bit, not too deep, but I'm getting everything, making sure we have everything set up for you, and to make sure I'm saying everything correctly. But here's the thing: think about it. Every month, you pay millions of, we as Americans pay and receive a paycheck. We pay rent, we pay car payment, we pay credit card subscriptions, we pay everyday expenses. And then the next month, we do it all over again. We're constantly in this space and doing this. At the end of the year, we try to, we spend thousands of dollars, but have very, very little to show for it, besides that we paid everything that we were supposed to pay at the right times and things of that nature. Now, let's be real clear. There's nothing wrong with renting. There's nothing wrong with paying your bills on time. There's nothing wrong with that being as part of your plan. But if renting becomes your permanent destination instead of a temporary step, you may be delaying your ability to build your wealth. One of the greatest ways many families have built wealth in America was through ownership. Ownership of a home, ownership of a business, ownership of land, ownership of investments, and ownership creates the opportunity and gives you something that you can grow, build value with, and potentially be passed down to the next generation. So that's why in the beginning and here at ITB, we believe in generational wealth starts with education before investment. Before you buy your first home or that home, you should learn the process and everything that goes into home ownership and what that entails and what is included in building and owning a home. Before you start a business, you should learn how to build one. Before you have a legacy, make sure your family has a will. Make sure you have a trust that reflects your wishes. And before you even borrow money, credit cards and even bank loans and lines of credit and things, that understand credit and lending, understand what it's meant to do, and make sure that whatever you needed to do for you, that's what it is going to be applied to do. These are the conversations that change generations, because you have to have them with everyone. You have to have them with your spouses, your significant others. You have to have them with your children. You have to let them know this is what we're doing. You need to include them in the planning process, because sometimes, and it's been so crazy, a lot of things that I do and we do, I have a tendency to take things on by myself. But I realize once I bring everything to the whole family, all these different perspectives come to the table, and they may have the greatest perspective that is needed to answer a question that I brought on myself that's been blocking me. And that's one thing that you need to get into doing, having conversations as a family. And so this week's challenge, ask yourself for these 4 questions. What do I own today that could benefit my family in the future? Am I saving consistently, even if it's a small amount? Remember, we've been building on this saving thought process and getting that out there. So you need to make sure that that is something that you're doing. And what financial skills do I need to learn this year? That was a big one. One thing I needed to do, and one thing I did was purchase. Everything about the Wall Street Trapper. I sit on his seminars on Saturdays. I learn because I don't know anything. I didn't know anything in that space of Wall Street and doing day trades and trading stocks at all. So I needed to get into that. So learn something new too. And what conversations about money have I been avoiding with my family? And that's a good one because most of the time we assume they don't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. But if initially when I said in my family initially, and it didn't start with let's have a family meeting to discuss them. It was initially just let's have family prayer so that we can get open to what we need to. And then eventually we built up to having family meetings. But initially it just started with prayer. Let's just come together in prayer so that we can come into agreement that we want certain things to happen for our family. And so it started that way. And then we kept on going. And then now, we had some big news today going on, some things, and we all understood, okay, we got a family meeting this evening because we got to discuss all of these pieces of this moving puzzle. And also include our village, because I can only do things, Michael can only do things, Charnay can only do things, Christian can only do things, and we still have things to be done. And so we're incorporating our village in our conversations now, because they see we're growing and they're growing with us. So remember, wealth doesn't happen by accident. It happens through intentional decisions made over time. It may sound crazy. It may sound corny. It may sound, different and weird for what you're used to. And it is, because we're not used to, I know my family is not used to, my mom, that wasn't something in our house with my dad, none of us. But now at 58, in the last 5 to 6 years, I've had more conversations with my parents about finances than ever. I've had more conversations about life insurance and how that was processed is supposed to work. And if we should take out additional life insurance policies on them and put them in a trust, all those type of good things. So those conversations have been new for me and new for my family and new with my husband, even in the ownership, because my mom was her home process and everything is still a lot of things with my mom, since I was the only child, still in my name. So having the conversations not only with my mom and my husband about what that looks like, that was a big piece of this puzzle. So we're doing it. So at ITB, we're here to help you take those next steps. Through our programs, we offer financial literacy education, entrepreneurship training. We're connected with some partners with home ownership preparation and access to Kiva's 0% interest crowdfunded loans for eligible entrepreneurs, and connections to capital resources, and our signature component, which is handholding, which is it's approach that no one is doing in America. And I say that. We literally handhold you through all of these components. We walk with you through the first steps to your next milestones. So this September and in the fall, we're launching our Generational Wealth Program, a 4-month classroom experience designed to help individuals, families, and churches and community organizations build practical skills for long-term financial success. You're ready to move from surviving to building and dreaming and planning, and from planning to ownership. We invite you to join us. Join us on this journey. So again, my name is Evelyn Johnson. I'm the CEO of In the Beginning Incubator, located here in Richmond, Virginia. I'm encouraging you to visit our website, inthebeginningco.com/generational wealth. Make sure you purchase a copy of my book, The Blueprint, on Amazon, and become part of the generational wealth movement. I'll leave you with this thought. Don't spend your entire life paying for someone else's future. Begin investing in your own legacy. One decision, $1, and one opportunity at the time. Have a blessed rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you next week on our generational wealth tips and encourage you to get things done. So thank you. And again, Evelyn Johnson, CEO of In the Beginning, located in Richmond, Virginia, and Morgantown, West Virginia. We're building. So keep watching and as we grow, and we will talk to you soon.